Hello. I have made a found of some quite exciting find actually of a whole load of hardware for Amigas, and it's been sitting in a warehouse for quite some time, so it's quite exciting. But I'm not going to. There's quite a lot. I'm going to be trying to move it to people who want to buy them, as you know, over time. But there was this particularly one that popped out, just literally leapt out at me, and I thought I'd share it with you on a video. And that is something that's very, very rare, which is an SX32 Pro, which is one of these boards, and it's made by DCE. I think it was DCE. I'll put some more information when I say. Now, bear in mind, if you're watching this now, they're probably sold. Okay, so I thought I'd do a video to just really show what these are capable of. And as you can see, so basically what we've got here is a board that sits in the CD32, and in this case, I've configured them up with to make them a completely working system. So you've got a 32 megabyte DIMM. They can take up to 64, but this is 32 meg. It's got a 50 megahertz 6830. It's got a socket for an FPU, but these haven't got an FPU on them. But you can buy them for between £30 and £50 if you want. Now, I don't think most people need the FPUs, but if you do, then you can pop one on there. And it's got a 160 megabyte drive, which is quite small, but you can replace that. But these drives have come out of brand new Amiga 1200s, which we're going to have a handful of new old stock Amiga 1200s as well. So they're brand new drives, and they've just been sitting in a box. Which means they're not even configured. So they've got the software on there, it's all ready to go, but they're not configured. Now, to comply with the rules of site this is probably going to end up on, they're probably going to have to be wiped. But it's very simple to reinstall them. Okay, just bear that in mind. But yeah, so we've got this lovely little board. But the interesting thing was we've actually found 4 of these, but only 2 work. So there's 2. I've got one inside this machine here, and I've got this one here, and we've got 2 others, but sadly we can't get them working at the moment. And these have tested out perfectly, and so we're happy to sell these on. But yeah, so a couple of little things. First of all, these do push the standard power supply to the limit. So I would highly recommend, if you've got one of these, to make sure you've got a more powerful power supply connected to it. Now that means you've got to make your own cable, etc. So these are not really aimed at the casual user. These are the retro fans who are quite happy to, you know, tinker around with power supplies. But it will. But and this is on standard power supply now. But I did notice when I plugged in my floppy disk drive, it did work. But I did find I think it was causing a bit of a memory problem. So I've left that disconnected. So that's the board. That's the board that comes, and you can see the back's just pretty plain. But I've got a couple of feet. It's very important you put these little feet on it. To lift it from the base, otherwise it twists down and it puts strain on the back connector. Now also, to connect them up, they come with this board, which has got a number of ports. So there's RGB, RGB, floppy disk, parallel, serial, and there's also a 31 kilohertz. I believe it's 31. I haven't tested this, but it's a VGA output, which I think would be quite handy. And on the other side is the 2 connectors, obviously. So that's the base connector and top connector. Now, what we've got in this machine, now you have to, when you fit this, it was really funny actually, when they don't go in. But I realised you have to unscrew the lid, take the lid off. Now what I recommend you do is, you unscrew the lid, turn it over, and then just tip the lid like I've done here, gently upwards, because there's a ribbon cable connecting it, and you can pull them out and put them back in, but they are quite tricky because they're quite short. So I would just tip it up sideways like that. It's just a tip for you. Okay, and then all you do is just pop these in. This pops into the back. You put the board in, make sure it's lifted up with those 2 feet. And people who are going to get these will have the 2 feet on, so just pop them in and they'll go straight in there. And then you'll notice there's 2 slots here, and on the you can't see it sadly from there, and I'm not twisting it around. But there's 2 tangs on here, which obviously gives support for the lid, so it sits down onto the shielding. And this, if you push down hard, it gives a bit of support. But they've got cutouts in the boards that allow them to go through. And there is also, just be aware, there is also a there we go. I'm not going to go too mad on this. Now, obviously, you need to fiddle around with this to get this right. But the people, as I said, these will be sold. But the people who have bought these, just be gentle with it and just put it in there and make sure you get it right and then screw it tight. And so let's boot this up. Now you'll notice I've got this display here. Okay, I've got my little monitor here. That's coming into the RGB port on the back here. But you'll also notice up on the left, because I've done this in 360. Now while it's booting, just a very brief advert. I make 360-degree rigs to allow you to record this kind of video, and they're called the Brahma range. So if you search for, go to brahma360.com or search on Facebook for Brahma360, there's loads of videos in this channel as well. So I suggest if you're interested in, I have two areas of interest. Is my Amiga side of things and on the 360 rigs. There's loads in this channel. There's tons of videos on both. I'm also interested in AROS as well, but that's not what I'm here for. So you can see it's popped up, and now because it's a boot disk, it's expected to be at 1200. It's thinking, where's the floppy disk? Just cancel that. Is it on there? Yeah. So we're booting up. You're better off looking on the big screen. I think you can see. I'm just having a look at it. I think because a bit of lighting in here to brighten the place up, and it kind of burns out the display. So you can see now we've got our workbench. Let's click into here. Yeah, it's normal workbench. Let's switch it into 256 color mode, so you can see 256. Here we go, and then open up the palette, so you can see it's got a nice palette. I'm not going to save any of these settings because these are going to obviously, well, as I said, probably going to be formatted. I've got to check the rules and see if it's allowed, because it is a genuine hard drive, but I have to follow the rules of the site. So let's just test. Put that in the back. Use. Okay, and I like mine to be a backdrop. So you can see it's all working. There's a backdrop. There we go. So it's a standard 1200. Let's fill the screen because what you're seeing up on the left there, I can show all of it. This monitor is probably not going to do it so well, but let me see. Is it filling up? Yeah, let's fill the screen up. Now in here I've also got, let's go to tools, and you can see show config. Okay, so you can see it's a 6830. It's got 32 meg of RAM, as you can see. I don't know what I'm doing now. You can see 32 meg in the title bar. And if I go into work, there's a load of software on here, but obviously again, if I have to format, I have to format. Okay, P-Paint. Click P-Paint. There we go, let's load an image. King Tut. Let me see, yeah. Oh, I say 16 colours, that's no good, is it? We want something with more colours than that. There's a nice fish. Where's the fish? Because that's 256. Yes. Here we go. So basically it's a 1200, isn't it? There you go. Quit. So that's that board. Let me just show you quickly working. Now, obviously the good thing about this is that you can use it as an Amiga, as a CD32 as well. So if I pop this out, pop that in there, and then press reset. There we go. And of course you can hear the sound then, can't you? It takes a little while. I don't know if the accelerator is going to make any difference to the speed of the games. And to be honest, I mean they're all tuned for the 20, so I don't think it matters. But things like if you've got games like Doom and things that need a faster processor, then you've got a faster processor. But do remember what I was saying about the power supply. It is very important. Now I'm running on a standard one. As you can see, it's working fine. But I can't recommend that. For long term, you really should get a more powerful power supply, unless you're just doing it just to show it every now and then. There we go. Let's let a little bit of this video go by. I quite like this. I'll be honest, I don't play a lot of games. I like my thing's hardware. There we go. CD32 games. Well, let's click into this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the other one in so you can see the other one working. Here we go. Look. So there you go, standard CD32 at the moment. How cool is that? Oh, I'm going to get killed now. Right. So what I'll do now is I'm just going to pop the other one in so that people can see it. Now this is purely for the people who can buy so they can see both are working. I'm going to pull the plug out the back actually. It just makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. Let's take that out. But as you can see, they do make, actually, they make a very cool little system. Alright, let's pop this out. So there's one of them. Pop that there. Just push from that. I suggest you just get theirs. They're quite a bit of it because they are new. Well, new as in not been used before. Put that back in again. Turn it on. And again, here we go. Let's pop this back in here. If you're wondering why I haven't shown you the keyboards, because I don't actually have an Amiga keyboard with a PS2 adapter. So, but you know they do work. So, get rid of that. Here we go. Something again. Show config. Oh no, they both got an MMU. I don't think they both have an MMU. So there we go. Oh, I haven't got the speed. Oh, I didn't show the speed, did I? Speed tests. No, let's do the speed tests. And I haven't put it on this one, which is kind of annoying. Let me swap back again, right? Yeah, well, at least you can see it works. Right, but I actually put the sysinfo on one of the drives. That is off. Let's pop this one. This one's got sysinfo in it. I've actually recorded this a couple of times, so but the sound wasn't actually working quite right on one of them, so I had to redo it again. Hence me forgetting that. But I think some of you will probably understand how rare this is to see one of them is something. To see two of them, and we had four. Really frustrating. We couldn't get the other two working because they are absolutely amazing. But if we can get it working, maybe there's someone out there that says I can repair them. We can, yeah, okay. We do a deal. Right. Let's go back into here. Let's go on to now. This has got sysinfo, so you can see everything's in there. And now do speed. Comes just under twice. It's about 1.6 the speed of. Now, bear in mind it's a 50 megahertz. I'm kind of confused on this one, but sysinfo is not the most accurate thing in the world. But that's generally the speed it's running at, so which is pretty good. I mean, it's you can see up the top here, 51.8. Yeah, it makes a nice little computer. So if as long as you've got the power's okay, you've got plenty of power going to it. This is a great little computer. I mean, it's surprisingly good little computer this will make. So, but for a collectible, which is going to go to collectors, that's the way it is. But that's a nice little machine. Anyway, I think that's all. Hope you like that. There will be more videos coming soon because, as I said, got a whole load of other bits and pieces. And you hopefully you've seen my other video from my 2000. I'll put a link to it on here. But yeah, so if you haven't seen an SX32, there you go. There's an SX32. Absolutely amazing. All right, thanks very much. Bye.